Rabbit, rabbit. New month, new theme, everyone. Ever wonder why we believe in luck and superstitions? In the simplest terms, our brains are wired to look for patterns, and it's not just human brains. Once we determine the effects of a certain pattern, our brains make that connection between our behavior and the effect, even if they aren't scientifically connected. And this could be for good luck or bad luck. For the month of March, I'll be looking at the stories behind common superstitions and symbols of luck. In this episode, we're starting the series with a general look at how humans have believed in luck and superstitions, as well as how often we don't notice we do things out of habit that may even be considered superstitious. I'm your host, Emily Prokop, and this is the story behind luck and superstitions. But first, a quick message. If you like this podcast, you might be interested in other podcasts that focus on the humanities. In fact, if you search Twitter for the hashtag Humanities Podcasts, you'll find plenty of shows on history, language, literature, philosophy, art, and more. These are podcasts by people who enjoy telling stories, exploring the arts in our world, and who want to share their knowledge. Some examples of the podcasts you'll find are Myth Take, focusing on Greek mythology, the Feast Podcast, which talks about great meals and history, or The Lonely Palette, an art history podcast. Search hashtag Humanities Podcast today, or follow Humanities Podcasters on Twitter. And if you're a Humanities Podcaster, use the hashtag in your tweets so others can find you. Even if you say you're not superstitious at all, you might be surprised to find some of the common beliefs you have are actually superstitions or false old wives' tales. Like going out of the house with wet hair in the winter will cause a cold or flu, or maybe you've heard shaving makes hair grow back thicker. In reality, you can't catch a cold or flu from going outside with wet hair. Colds and flus are both caused by viruses, and these are transferred by way of germs being passed along. Hair seems to grow back thicker after shaving because the new hair comes in blunt, making it more apparent and seeming to be thicker. But that doesn't stop people, I'm looking at you, grandmas of the world, from passing these ideas to future generations as fact. And if you hear something often enough, you may believe it to be true without knowing or even questioning the science behind it. We're not the only species who believe in luck and superstitions, though. In 1948, behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner began using a mechanism to feed pigeons who were half-starved at random intervals. He noticed the pigeons began demonstrating bizarre dances and behaviors, seemingly trying different maneuvers to see which ones led to getting fed. One pigeon in particular would turn in circles a few times counterclockwise, believing this was his special way of getting food. It's easy to dismiss this as pigeons being bird-brained, but when you look at human behavior, it's not that different. Ever read your horoscope for the day and try to modify your behavior accordingly? For an experiment, try reading the horoscope of another sign and applying it to yourself, and see if you don't notice a cause and effect situation. Fear is another reason humans look to luck. There's so much in the world we know we can't control. So, if there was a way for us to control some of it, why wouldn't we try it? Whole belief systems are structured around superstitions created out of fear. For example, the Salem witch trials were partially a result of superstition and fear when Puritans believed the supernatural and the devil were to blame for any misfortunes that occurred, like bad weather or food shortage. And because these were common occurrences in early colonial New England, it was almost inevitable that hysteria would ensue and a scapegoat would be needed. Remember how I started off the episode saying rabbit, rabbit? Listener Keylime Writes on Twitter suggested that as a jumping-off point for the new series. And as I found in a lot of lore about luck and superstitions, the origin of this particular saying, which is thought to bring good luck if said at the beginning of the month, is pretty vague. But the fun thing is finding out the different guesses experts have for these bits of lore. Martha Barnett, host of NPR's A Way with Words, surmises this one has something to do with the luck of rabbits themselves, but we know it was first written in the early 1900s and probably came over to America from Britain. but other sources say it originated as early as the 13th or the 15th century. Even though we may not know why something is supposed to bring us luck, still many people believe in it. Like Franklin Delano Roosevelt said rabbit rabbit on the first of every month, and he also carried a lucky rabbit's foot. And during World War II, fighter pilots were known to say white rabbits for good luck. And not just the first of the month, but any day they needed luck. And again, there's no science or reason behind it, but we're a species programmed to look for patterns and repeat them if successful. So if those pilots had a good flight after saying white rabbits, they may have assumed saying white rabbits was a good luck charm. And we'll talk more about rabbits in an upcoming episode in this series on lucky animals, just to give you a hint of what to expect this month. Information for this episode was sourced from simplypsychology.org, NPR, psychologistworld.com, and more links which can be found in the show notes at thestorybehindpodcast.com. Follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at StoryBehindPod, or subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you'll never miss an episode. Thanks for listening.